Hello, everyone. It is a whisper coming from the ground below in which you think you sit on. I don't exist, in other words. Like how a lot of people say they're scared of space, but aren't we already in space? We're just on an organic spaceship. That's something I heard. I love that. To think you know what is going on is to walk around with a sign on your head saying I'm stupid. It's fun to speculate. There's a quote a buddy told me, which is the quote was something like, God is the name, God is the blanket we throw over the mystery to give it shape. Mystery being mystery of existence. Why are we here? What is all this? None of us really know. And so, us humans love to create in words this thing, structure, archetype of being that is shaped by words that you could refer to as a blanket because we use the blanket to like keep us warm. Faith, God saves people. That's why people pray a lot of the times. They want help. They want to feel warm inside. They want to feel like they're loved. And so that's why you could call it a blanket. There's many reasons. But God's this blanket that we throw over the mystery of existence to give it shape. To me, that means it's an attempt at making sense of what is not supposed to make sense. The more you think you understand Zen, as in Buddhism, the more you don't understand it. It's not meant to be understood. Like quantum physics, you can really only understand quantum physics by not understanding quantum physics. It's if you go listen to like some of the people that study it, there's I forget his name, but there's this elderly guy. He has super white hair. He's like Asian. He really good at quantum physics, really good. And he said that something along those lines. But if you really think about it, you'll realize that the more you think about it, the less you'll understand it. It being the universe, Jesus, God, what is all this? And so by letting go of your understanding or your attempt to understand, that's when you will be able to begin to understand in the moment. It's always in the moment because nothing's ever the same. Even if you have the same moment again and again, it's still not the same moment. It's a different day. The surrounding environment's different. Things have changed. People aren't the same. It's really not the same moment. And so, therefore, the more you begin to realize that, then you will see new things all the bloody damn time. It's pretty shocking, to me at least, how many people really think that they should be afraid of death. Just that alone. Like, the cost of escaping death is sacrificing every pleasure of life. Because it's fear. If you fear death, that would be you would only want to escape death because you fear it, unless it was for some logical reason. I can't really think of a scenario where it would be strategic to. I don't think this quote is referring to like a battle scenario, because it would be strategic to not just commit suicide in battle. That's pretty scary. Let's not do that. Uh, but like the it's not good to fear death and just fear in general. You should take on what is in front of you and not wait for things to be perfect, not wait for something to happen. Look at where your life is at now and take it on. Like for me, I love to fantasize about everything I want to do. And when it comes to actually doing it, it's not as much fun. Life is painful. But surprisingly, the less I try to do these things and the more I just do them, I don't think about doing them. I don't pretend to do them. I don't act them out. I don't think about it. I don't really like to plan it too much. I don't like to lay it out. I don't like to narrate it. I don't like to write a list down. I don't like to make goals on it. I like to just do it. And that way it is, if anything, more natural than anything else. Because I think all labels do is strip away all of its potential. It being life. The universe loves you. You are perfect. Just start with that. Just start with that. It takes literally not even like meditation, so to say. Just really, it doesn't even have to be that. It would be find anything that works for you that allows you to enter the perspective of freeing your awareness to see anything, anyway, anyhow. Otherwise, whatever it is you're doing is only limiting you to love that which you could experience if you freed yourself up to experience it. By not looking at your own life, you are taking away the happiness that is in your own life in an attempt to find it outside of you. Life being you, your head, this this POV that we have. And like a lot of people that I know find way more happiness outside of themselves than they do inside of themselves. Which is really funny and weird because you'll never be able to get close to that happiness. The closest you can get is literally sex. Outside of that happiness, you inside of it, if you look within, then you will be able to experience it in your own body, which honestly feels pretty good. Like just doing thought experiments. Like, stop watching TikTok. Sure, that makes you happy. Are you really happy? Or is it more like a numb, static feeling where you're just mindlessly consuming? without much thought given to it. Imagine if you could think, and that would create the world around you. And then from that, it is that which you think. Therefore, all that you do, you are responsible for. And all that happens to you, you are responsible for. And so then that makes it pretty, that motivates you pretty well to look at the good things in life. I like to be responsible for love and not hate. Meaning, maybe responsible is probably not the best word to use. I would say I like to have an adventure with love. I don't like adventures where you end up in hell. Those aren't the best. I don't want to say responsible because you are responsible. An adventure with love is going to take you to hell, but you don't stay there. Through the adventure, you go there. That way, you can understand how to be in heaven. Carl Jung said that he didn't believe that someone could truly love someone unless they had the capacity to understand their own evil, their own hell, and that way they knew what heaven was. Because it's really hard to be able to bring out good or to be able to become aware of what truly is good. However, what is much easier is knowing what is bad, what is evil, what is not good. Well, surely then the opposite of that would be good. And so, a good way to like fix up your day, if you're not having a good day, is to figure out whatever you're doing that is bad and just do the opposite. And just do it for 5 minutes. Have a little thought experiment. See if it works, if it does something. If it doesn't, try something else. Unless you just want to be miserable. I think that I don't think. I don't really know. I think a lot. I don't really, honestly. I think life is, well, I believe life is much simpler than what people make it out to be. That's for sure. If you were to truly treat yourself like an animal, you'd realize you are actually like the best animal to ever exist. You got it pretty damn good. And in doing that, animals also don't think about being sad. They don't think about much. They're just animals. They don't overthink, basically, in simple terms. You can do so much with nothing. It's pretty astounding. Pretty damn astounding. To be able to create your own world, your own reality around you. Since I don't really have any questions, we're gonna go to my notes. These are some questions here. One second. So a question would be, what is the root of suffering? Well, in Buddhism, there's four noble truths. Craving or attachment, that is the noble truth. So, like being like an animal, you don't really crave. When you're hungry, you eat. Whenever you want to do something, you do it. Whenever you need to work, you work. Whenever you have grief, you feel the grief. Whenever you're stressed out, you're stressed out. And so then you get this different perspective of life where you can begin to see it as a movie almost. Kind of like that, where you're not necessarily trying to act it out, you're just watching the movie, your own life. Wanting something is the shortest way to suffering that I know of. Right now, right here, as it is, this exact spot is perfect. Literally perfect. And if that's true, then what are you bitching about? What are you whining about? Why aren't you happy? What's going on with your life? It's always something. If it was perfect, that means that everything that's happening is supposed to happen that way. That's what's got to happen. That's what it is. And so, with that said, then therefore, your awareness is more free to be happy. I love to fantasize about doing stuff. I'm not the biggest actor on doing it though. And through observing myself, suddenly it eliminates the ability to even fantasize. And if I ever want to fantasize, then I fantasize by doing it. That tends to get you places in life. Much quicker, much better. The more you procrastinate, the more you suffer. You don't even want to really give an explanation to it. There just is suffering. And like, well, let's not use the word like. To escape death is to sacrifice every pleasure in life. Yeah. And a lot of suffering comes from fear. And so, the more you fear death, which not only your body dying, death of the day ends, that's a death. When a thought ends, that's a death, death of that train of thought. When feelings change, well, your feelings just died to make room for new feelings. Perspectives, windows of looking at the world, everything's always changing. Nothing's ever staying the same. And so, the more you can realize that it's continually changing forever, the more you realize it's not actually dying, it's just flowing. And then you can see your life in not this, I'm gonna die, I'm just gonna continue flowing. But my river is like death might just be a waterfall where things change. At the bottom of the waterfall, You might fall, it might go to the ocean. Now you're no longer in a stream, you're just in an ocean of consciousness. Instead of a stream of consciousness. By looking at spaces within the spaces. So let's say it would be like a flashlight versus the sun. Like whenever you look at things, you look at them by as objects. Like I'm looking at my webcam. But if I don't focus on the webcam and I allow my perspective to become like the sun, then I see the entire wall and everything. I see the tapestries, the flowers hanging from the ceiling, all of it, and it's all one. And so then with that perspective, you see yourself as part of it, no longer an object within it. And from there, if you take that internally, because as above, so below, therefore as outside, as within, so within. So you flip it on its head, then within, you will no longer see yourself as your thoughts, but as your thoughts, your feelings, your experience, your actions, all of it. And by not controlling your life or attempting to create situations wanting things, then you can begin to look at the day as like a stream of consciousness. You're not a boat floating down the stream. You're not a body. You're not a bird. You are the stream. That's all you are. That's all you ever were. If you look at the suffering in your life that's inevitable and you try to get rid of it, then you're only, it is similar to picking up a burning bush or like a burning tree limb, let's say. Imagine a giant tree limb, pick it up with both hands, it's on fire, and sparks are going everywhere, and it's kind of windy outside. So your suffering is this tree limb. And by trying to fix it, you are, because the suffering that's inevitable, that suffering, I'm talking about that suffering specifically. Part of your tree that is you, your stream, there's always going to be a little bit of poison, a little bit of oil in that stream, a little bit of dirt, a little bit of, really a good example would be like pollution. And by trying to get rid of the pollution, you only spread it. You only cover the whole stream in pollution. You only, it's like running around on fire screaming help, and all you're doing is you're in a large crowd, and all you're doing is bumping into people, lighting them on fire. And everyone wants to help you, but they can't because you're hurting them. You're going to light them on fire. That's why you need to stop, drop, and roll. And similarly, it would be like internally stopping yourself, halting in your tracks. The more you freak out, the worse it gets. By letting yourself become all that you are in every given moment, so now, in the present, be here now, you realize that you can't just become everything. You already are everything. And from there, your awareness, it's like a way to free up your awareness. Just be here now. And then also, not only from that, when good things do come your way, which they will, they're much better because you get to experience them much more. Much, much more. Much more. To smile is to shoot your shot. To feel the smile is to hit the target. And to smile without reason is to hit the bullseye. The key to life is to die before you die. You should get closer with death. Make peace with boredom. By limiting your happiness, you are actually giving yourself more happiness. Because let's say you have 10 things that make you happy. You're always trying to do these 10 things to become happy. By stopping trying to do those 10 things, well, you're going to suffer a lot more. At least that's what you may think at first. But then you realize, well, in this situation where I used to suffer, I don't want to suffer. So then you are going to naturally find ways to not suffer. And then by doing that, you're allowing yourself to be happy in 20 ways, not just 10. And the more you do that, you'll find yourself with the capacity to be happy in any given moment, no matter what is happening. There's always a way through it in which a smile can happen without reason. I truly believe that. Wisdom is obtained through doing. Knowledge is obtained through thinking. So the thought experiments can only take you so far. By acting them out, you gain the wisdom. Wisdom doesn't leave you, but knowledge will. Don't ever let someone else decide your happiness for you, because then you will be disappointed much more. If you allow yourself your own happiness, then you will be disappointed by your lack of love towards yourself. Because it's so much. Or it's so much. If it is that much. Which most people, they're very different than me at least. That's for sure. 33 minutes, 29 minutes. Well, we're going to cut this off at the 30 mark. To everyone listening to this, I love you. And you love you. If you just let yourself, allow yourself to be a being of love, which you are. Otherwise, how would you be here? In some way, love had to exist in order for you to exist. The meaning of life is simply finding that which doesn't kill you. Or the meaning of life is that which causes you to not kill yourself. That becomes your meaning. Why not make that as best as it can? Why not make that the most love as it can be? Why not aspire to be the best possible? Because if you're not doing that, then you are doing a disservice. You are letting down yourself, and not only yourself, everyone that is in your life. You're doing a disservice to them. You're taking love away from them. Thank you for listening. If you have any questions, put them in the comments. I love y'all. Namaste.